you already have a stellar resume and it's exactly the way you want it, and you've added the things that you did this past fall semester here at UT, then great. Start walking around your peer group and help your friends, help your peer group members develop their resume. If everybody gets all that taken care of, then your mentors are going to help walk you through that timeline for the internship process too. I would also advise everybody to start thinking about creating a LinkedIn account. I just created mine last year. I had one like years ago, but I just let it sit. I never did anything with it. And then Byron, year 4 coordinator, because we're graduating our first class, and we created a LinkedIn group for ULN. So we have a LinkedIn site out there just for this program. You need an online presence for not just right now, but for job searches, and so other people can start seeing what you're capable of, what you've done, and what you're aspiring to do. We live in a digital world. Next week after that is going to be Laura Weingarten, also from the Vic Center, and she's going to be talking to you about interviewing. How many people have been on an interview and just nailed it? I love that. Those types of situations, those experiences start building confidence for interviews later on. How many people here had an interview and it just went terrible? It happens. It happens. This is what we want you to start being aware of as far as what you can expect in an interview, a one-on-one, what you can expect from a panel interview. I've been through lots of those. And what your responsibilities are in the interview process of being there. You shouldn't just be the person sitting across the table in a chair waiting for questions. You should already have a list of questions for your own to find out what that company culture is like, or that organization's culture is like, how they treat their employees, what their mission is, what are the benefits, how can you grow in a position that they're offering, and how can you sell yourself better and your skill sets. We're going to help you through all that. Cover letters, that's going to be a little bit kind of a brief discussion, but we will talk about that as well. Other things you may want to be working on, we might be able to do this semester is elevator speeches too. I know it's very difficult to condense your entire work history or your skill sets into a 30-second spiel. And the reason why it's called elevator speech is because if you step onto an elevator and there's somebody else there and you know they're the CEO of some big company and it was a chance encounter and you're there right in front of the person, it's like, oh my God, I need to be able to sell myself because they may be able to hire me right now. 30 seconds, can you do that? Can you sell yourself in 30 seconds? That's something you may want to start practicing and working on because you never know when you're going to bump into somebody who's very important or who has the ability to get you connected to get hired at their company. That's what you want to start thinking about. That's what you want to think about. Leadership speakers. So again, a little bit of a mix between practicality, and our leadership, personal development. We're going to bring somebody out to talk to you about authentic leadership, what I just mentioned with you. Mindful reflection. This is toward the end of the semester. It's one of my favorites. We're getting the Blanton Museum to come out here and talk to you about mindful reflection, taking pause, paying attention to something that impacts you. And then we're going to send you to the Blanton. You're going to have to go to the Blanton Museum for an assignment for this course. And I want you to take advantage of that. Who here has been to the Blanton already? Oh, nice. Was it because I kept pushing it at orientation? Fantastic museum here on campus. That's not the only one. We got tons of museums. We got the Harry Ransom Center. We got lots of cultural resources on campus. Please take advantage. This is part of your university. This is a whole big world that has so many things on this campus accessible to you. You need to start taking advantage of that because really it does open your eyes. And you heard me talk during my lecture about how art, beauty, nature, how it can impact you. And it can even shape you and change who you are. It's happened. I've seen that. Resilience. There are some semesters where I think they already know what that is because they lived it in fall. Some don't because they find those first challenges in the spring semester. Yes, we had a few students land on probation. Not very many, but there's a few. Unfortunately, we also did lose just a very small number of students due to first dismissal. But I talked to some of them, and they're appealing. They want to come back. They're not done yet. They realized what happened, and they owned it. They owned their mistakes and what they did wrong. So now they're going to go back and say, okay, I'm going to reevaluate this semester off, and I'm going to come back. John, can you help me with my financial aid SAP appeal? I'm like, yes, I can. So fall semester is a learning process. Failure is a learning process. I'll put a quote up in my office on the wall because I now share an office with Jeff Dubé, our year 2 coordinator. I'm not in my corner office that I had before. It's logical because I'm the year 1 coordinator. He's the year 2 coordinator. He's the mentor program coordinator, and here are our mentors in your first year experience. So it's very logical for me and Jeff to share an office. You can still get on my calendar by visiting the front desk of the FAC. But where was I going with that? Resilience. Help me out. What did I say right before I changed offices? What? Oh, thank you. Yeah. It says, I don't lose. I win or I learn. Think about that. Think about that. Making the most of a new position. This is going to be right toward the end of the semester because you're going to be probably already finding out where you're going to be interning for sophomore year. So we want to help you get adjusted to that new environment and what you need to do to be a true professional in that environment. How to get to know your professional staff members. So many students, they don't know how to integrate themselves with full-time employees. And also how to be culturally sensitive in the workplace. There's going to be different kinds of people that you may not have been able to work with before or had the opportunity to work with before. You need to be mindful of that as well. How to be responsible. We have a few students every semester, they just stop going to their internship and they email Jeff or whatever. It's like, yeah, I just didn't want to do that anymore. And then the supervisor comes back. They walked out on the job. That is highly unprofessional. They never emailed, or they just wouldn't show up, or they would come in late every day. Those are the things that, you know, we're going to help you as far as getting started into starting a new position. Okay, at this time I'd like to bring up a couple of your peers. If I can have Heron and Michelle come up here really quick. Yes, give them a big round of applause. Go ahead. And there's only 2 chairs. I'm going to stay standing.
There's another chair over there.
Nah, that's okay. I'd rather stay standing.
Bring another chair, John.
You should grab the chair for me. Hold on.
Hi.
Okay. So you guys I can project and stuff. You guys can switch off the microphone and stuff. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and just introduce yourself, major, hometown, and what your internships are for right now. Definitely.
My name is Ron Cavazos. I am majoring currently in business, but I'm switching out into IRG. Anybody? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, few in there. And I'm from the Rio Grande Valley. Yeah. Interning at the Texas State Capitol under Senator Eddie Lucio, District 27, Rio Grande Valley also. And I'm also a peer mentor, so you'll be seeing me a lot.
Hi, I am Michelle Ochoa. You guys, of course, have seen me around here. I am John's intern. I am a sophomore, government, Mexican-American studies major, and I'm also from the RGV, Bronzeville, Texas.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask them a couple of questions. I want you guys to pay attention to how they're answering, just to kind of get a feel as far as their experiences they've had so far in their internships. So first, Michelle, what did you first look for in an internship when you were going through the application process?
During the application process, I had a lot of stuff going on. I do have other stuff, of course, as any other student has other duties. I am also a peer mentor for Foundation Scholars, which is a FIG, and I also work part-time at the stadium. So I had to find something that was going to help me a lot, that was going to be flexible, that was going to make me feel comfortable, that was going to teach me about what I want to do in the future. So I was talking to John, and I was telling him about my troubles and how I didn't know what I was going to do. And then he said, oh, well, I have a position. And I'm like, are you serious? And then went through the process. I still went to our internship fair. I looked around, I see, okay, who of these people is gonna make me feel comfortable? Am I gonna learn a lot? And then John was very persuasive, so I decided to stay in the internship, and I was looking forward to working with new, fresh starting students, especially because I like seeing new faces. I like working with people. I like learning about their different backgrounds. I like learning about their experiences. So I really looked forward to learning a lot about this new pack of freshmen that was coming into UT.